Right, I've done a few things since the last video, so just working on this front facing. Made these brackets here. I'll go up onto the roof in a minute and all these blackens still. Go up on the roof in a minute and see what's happening. So I rebuilt this barbecue. It's a good bit bigger, bit higher as well, so it's easier to use. But when I built it, I built in these two steel columns, so I can put something on the spit here. Also I've got a sort of horizontal one up here which is tied into the structure, which you can hang things off or hang a griddle, lift it on up higher if we need to. Took a bit of corrugated tin here and just put the blowtorch on it, burnt the plastic off it, folded it over, made a hood out of it, cut 3 holes. I had 1 hole here initially, but that's not enough to let the smoke out of the fire, so it's sort of gathering up at the back, so or in these corners actually. So I just cut another 2 holes, put 3 chimneys on it. That's sorted. You know, this wee bit here finished. This wall will actually be coming up to make the underside of that somewhere, but I can sort that out later. The flat roof structure is now finished. Got this piece of glass on. A bit of double glazing that was lying about the place. We just fixed it up, and a wee bit of trimming here to do at the ends, but that's it. That's it ready. I have to go out and have to put a bit of strap on the outside to cover that green strap there, but it's ready more or less. Take a wee run up onto the roof here. So that's the skylight from the top. We've just got pallet straps here keeping it down temporarily at the moment. You know, we'll come up the sides of that with the polythene for the roof. Come up the sides of the outside, which is the fascia here. You can see here, main beam runs across underneath. This one picks up at the front, and this is like a overhang. Underneath this there would be that stone pillar here, but at the moment I made these brackets, I took a piece of this stuff that was lying about and just cut it back, turned the end up so I could bolt the fascia here onto it. Of course the fascia is structural as well because it's holding up this part of the roof. So I came across, cut into this. This here will all be encompassed within the pillar which is underneath, but all the same I just wanted to make sure it's very sturdy, which it is. You know, it doesn't budge an inch like. And the other end of that, you know, I took it in, screwed it to the side here underneath and down through the top, left a big strap on the end of it to carry across and screw into that there, you know, that beam. So what I wanted to form here is where the roof, there's a fall on the roof coming, you know, coming this way, obviously taking the water down away, you know, to the front face. There's a fall going that way also, over to my future gully over there. But at the minute I'm concentrating on getting this flat roof just that you can have a barbecue. It doesn't matter if it rains. This wee roof will come up higher in the future, but what I wanted to form here was a drop over that edge, and then there's a fall going that way, so that's like forming a gutter nearly. You know, you'll not see it, it'll all be flat grass on the top, and that's it. Over here somewhere I'll form an opening for the gully and go down inside the pillar like a secret gully, a secret downpipe. This is the top side of the tin hood that I made. So just folded it over like you see on the inside of 2 bits up either side to give it the strength, and then I've got this extra piece I just cut out and stitched it on to give this here a bit of, you know, a bit of strength. And of course then I need to waterproof all that, and I can't put plastic near the hood, so the plastic on the roof here will come across and it'll go up the edges of the structural fascia. It's fascia, but it's also holding up part of the roof. So I'll come up the edge here and over the top of that fascia, and then I'll put flashing on that later. But for now, I'm just coming on, I'm going to come around the edges, put in my plastic, heavy duty flashing, and cover this here all heavy duty flashing, you know, plastic stuff, and then on top of that I put the polythene and come up the edges of the come up underneath the skylight. I'll put a wee drip tray here coming over the edge of the flashing, put the flashing around that just like a big glorified Velux. And then once I've come up the side here with the plastic polythene and everything else, and the grass is all on here, you know, I need to go over the top of these, take a piece of tin, set it on to take the rain away, and cut 3 holes in it, drop it over the top of that. So, and then underneath that, in this void that'll be left in here, I'll be taking the insulated cement that I have, 5 parts perlite, 1 part cement, and fill it all in around here, come up over the top as much as I can, and then set a piece of tin over the top, because I just need to keep the heat away from the polythene here, even though it's on the inside of the wood, and also keep it away from the wood obviously. So that's the crack. These wee hoops or to tie you know, covering across to enlarge that patio, or if we're eating outside and there's a chance of rain, just clip it on and off as we need it. This is looking down on the circular part that'll be coming up with a reciprocal frame roof, which will end up about the same height as that tree there beside it. So it'll come up like back down to those wee wall plates, wee steep roof. It'll come down on meet this here old grass, and you know, over in this corner is quite a lot going on. So as I say, the roof's falling this way into that gully, and then it's also coming across this way because I want a bit of action here with the water. Here I'll show in a minute. On this beam here, I'll be coming up with my rafters for the reciprocal frame roof. You can see some wall plate on here going across that stonework will be built up to meet the underside of that. And this has got the window underneath it. So this will be coming on up, but I had to get these levels established first, and especially the height of that facey, because you know, the look of it from the front, it has to look right. So I'll just go through this a wee second. So here, the front, I'll go down and look at this in a minute, but the front of this is going to come on ahead on up to the height of that facey there. So if stonework coming up, I'm going to put, you know, the wee castle type, not sure the name of them, but they'll pop up and down, we shoot arrows out of, and then come across here, and then have a gully, like a mouse hole gully here, which will take the water down through, and you see the piece of pipework built into the wall here that comes out, and that's the water out here, down onto those stones, and then onto that front gully, which drains off into what will be water out here. So on this here, I've got 2 lights on that window underneath, so you can see them. I've just used hose pipe, you know, I'm going to build that into the wall, bring it up across here, around, made up with all that pipework down, wiring down there. So here behind the front, that face, I'll have a gully, like a drain, like a bucket type gully here. It'll feed into that and let the water away down below. So there's quite a lot of things to think about here, because so that's it from here. So the water will be coming over that beam, dropping into like a gully type arrangement, which will drain off here. I'll come out this here, I'll put a wee fancy something on top of that in the end, but this roof will be coming from the wall plate up, and this will be like the grass will be coming down. It'll be like a wee valley here. I'll have a flying buttress coming over to connect into that chimney, but this will be holding me up. I have to get this roof, the water running off this roof, to establish my level of my drain before I go too far. And then on top of everything else, I've got the wee cross here to build in. See, that's the cross, and it feeds right into the back of that. It also serves as like a wall plate to hold the, you know, to help strengthen the wall. So I think that's it. That's it for now. So I'm going to just show the underside of this here. You can see these ones where I've just came over the top with those steels. You know, they're extended on out. As you can see, they're bolted on an L bracket on the out onto that, which and I've fitted on these hooks, so there's no way they'll pull off. But I'll have to pull the whole roof with it. Same here with this one. And there's another one out here too. So, and then I was looking at this and sort of changed the design here because I left a good bit of overhang here to make sure I had the right overhang. And then I just said, you know, something, I could do something with that, just leave it like that and bring this on out to give a wee bit more cover from the rain and from that pillar, now, or that column. Now, the thing about that is I've sort of, I don't know if I mentioned before, but that's strong enough at the moment, but I don't know what it'll be like in 20 or 30 years inside that stone column. I'm going to build stone around it, you see, so if it was getting damp you might not know. What I'm going to do anyway is come up the outside with the outside of that post with two steel posts that come into the underside of those beams. You know, this beam and this beam, bring it down and build around that as well, so they'll always be supported no matter about that post. Yeah, so that's it. So now I can continue, once I get the roof flashed and that drain running, then I can start to proceed on this stonework. And also need to come around, there's the wall plate on for this wee roof. Just need to bring that around here, connect in here, and then this will be woodwork covering up that post and everything here, purely because there's a tree root running around here. I have dug down in between the tree roots about 1 metre and filled that with concrete and rebar, so there's sort of this wee bit, even though it's only a wee section, is it's like on piles nearly underneath. And I cut this tree down because it was in the way, or I built it too close to it. And then around here I'll be looking up for the roots. You know, in the future when I get this roof on, I'll be cutting them trees away back, so I would be, you know, I would be thinking about the roots under the ground there, but I cut most of them off and I cut 2 or 3 of those trees down as we went along. So that's the crack. And that's it. That's all. Just as I've said before, that's just telegraph poles that I've squared off and burnt. You know, that there's pallet wood that I've burnt. That's bits of steel that was laying about the house, and you know, the glass was laying about the house here. You know, bits of timber, just burn it and then rub over beeswax over the top of it, and it comes up bright and well. That's what it does. This steel work will all be painted black at the end, because just for the look of the thing, and those beams will be touched again with a burnt a wee bit more to match the ceiling panels here, and then wax the whole thing over again. Just take it. I've just been doing this bit today, so what I'll do is, because of this, I'll hit this with a blowtorch, and these are just well, they're quite tight in, but they're just sitting there. So I'll take each one, light the barbecue, take each one off and burn it, and then you know, set it back up. And you can see here with that pillar I was talking about at the bottom part built, and it's actually going to be bigger now because I want to incorporate the downpipe also, so it'll come out here and out. You see the way this turns in at an angle. Got a wee place you can put the feet in here. You can sit here. You have the wee table just sitting behind the barbecue. And that's the wee window with all my gear here. I'll be coming up to meet this. You see, I needed the height of this so that I could come up and I know where I can stop. Just need to get over the top of that beam to about that height, come down, up with the wee one, and then back over, you know, up again. So you go stepped up like a wee castle, and then coming around here. That's the chimney in here. So it comes down. There's the clear out for it. This wee door to clear it out. I've it stacked with mud because it's leaking of smoke a wee bit at the minute. It'll come up with the flying buttress here to meet into the wee chimney that'll come up. And then that'll sort of come down around there. Meet this all grass roof up there. It'll come down and meet this wee, and it drains off onto this arch. I've got the wee lights under the arches as well. So, you know, objective just is to get this flat roof watertight, that at least we can come out and sit on the barbecue. It doesn't matter if it rains. And then once all my level's established here at this corner, I can get on with that roof over there. Make sure I've got all my drains working properly. So we're coming underneath here, building this pillar a bit wider, coming up the outside of that post with two metal ones, and then within the pillar, I'll say come out to say here just for talk's sake, and I will be cutting a hole in that roof up there and taking it inside the pillar, taking a drain down and out, and then as I come down below I will come out even wider. So I put the wee herb garden there a wee bit higher than the wall. The wall's coming up slightly higher just to get the seating height correct for the table, and then so we'll have the stone pillar going up, and at the bottom it'll widen out probably about the height of that pillar there, coming out beyond the roof, and there'll be a wee sort of herb garden there, just as a bit of a novelty thing. So